Welcome to the lecture room. I am Dr. Vishwas Tiwari, Department of Biology, Nirmala College, Diocese of Ujjain. Today itself, I will express my valuable lecture for a very popular topic of the biological science, very correctly the ecological topic. The topic is the ecosystem. This topic is actually very much related to the environmental biology or environmental science. Recently, the environmental biology or the environmental science, or I can say that another branch is very fascinating. The branch is environmental engineering all over the world. So the topic is directly related to the nature. Natural means awareness to the nature. The awareness for the nature is the first and foremost thing for each and every person. Okay, so this topic is not actually the topic of the biological science. This topic is, we can say, we can say for the awareness for all the persons for other stream instead of the biology also. So I'm going through the introduction of the topic. The branch of biology deals with the study of interaction of living beings with the environment is known as ecology. Ecology is a very specific term. It was first coined by the scientist Eugene P. Odum. The word ecology and the concept also proposed by the Ernst Haeckel. Eugene P. Odum, also considered as the father of ecology, he wrote a book, a very popular book, a very famous book. The book is Fundamentals of Ecology. He explained all the aspects of the biological system, ecosystem, various ecosystem all over the world in a very systematic manner. So Odum's concept. Okay, let's see that, as I told you that the word ecology was coined by the scientist, that is Ernst Haeckel, and correctly that thoroughly studied by the Odum also. Okay. Similarly, another word, that is ecosystem. It was first coined by the scientist A.G. Tinsley. So what exactly is the ecology? Ecology means interaction of living beings with the environment. There are two things. Interaction of living beings with the environment. One thing is that living beings, that are biological components or biotic components, or another is the abiotic components. So that continuous interaction between the biotic and abiotic component takes place all over the world. This is what actually the, we can say, interaction. If it is in a positive manner, okay, there is no problem. Okay, what the ecosystem is maintaining. If it is in negative, drastic condition, climatic condition, whatever maybe, there are several fluctuations in the factors of the environment. It can cause the disturbance in the ecosystem or the ecology. So, environmental biology, the word environment, okay, is fascinating. The word environment was first coined by the scientist Fiddick. Okay, before going through that, we can say the actual concept of the ecosystem. Okay, I will tell you something about that. What exactly is the spherical area of the Earth? What exactly is the Earth? What is the position of the Earth? Okay, so let us see that all over the universe there are billions and billions of galaxies are spinning. Okay. As per the law of the physics, that a huge body is having the more and more gravitational attraction with comparison to the small body. So it's a natural tendency is that the small body is just tracting towards the huge body. The galaxies, millions and billions of the galaxies, more than thousands of billions of the galaxies, they are spinning all over the universe. So these galaxies are spinning with a considerable speed. We cannot judge their speed. Okay. So by that with tremendous speed, the galaxies are there spinning, and what happening is that the peripheral area of the galaxy is scraping that the several other particles that's scraping out, and they're also spinning. So gravitational attraction in between the galaxies takes place, and what happened that in the one galaxy, yes, I can say that in the one galaxy, the millions and billions of stars are originating, and the planetary system also. So what that the galaxy and the planetary systems and the stars. The center of galaxy, just I can say that the approximately 300 to 400 billion stars are approximately originating from the center of the galaxy. And these stars, due to the gravitational attractions, they are forming their own system, planetary system, or asteroid system in the universe. Okay. So what happened actually, that our galaxy is a beautiful galaxy that is bulging in the center and tapered at the ends. That galaxy is the Milky Way galaxy. Our planetary system, we are at the tip and the terminal portion of the Milky Way galaxy. Our complete planetary system is like a dot-like structure. A huge galaxy, out of the billions and billions of the galaxies, our Milky Way galaxy. Okay, so what happened that our planetary system at the terminal portion of the, we can say, Milky Way galaxy, on the one hand, on the one arm of the galaxy, because that our galaxy is the bulging in the center. And both the sides, the left and right, I can say, that is the arms of the galaxy. So that galaxy, the terminal portion of the galaxy, which is having the dot-like structure, and that dot is actually the complete planetary system with all the planets and the sun. The chief of our planetary system is the sun. Sun is the chief source of energy. Okay, the core temperature, according to the report of the NASA and the ISRO collective, that you can say investigations and research, what the core temperature is approximately 1.5 crore degrees centigrade, while the peripheral temperature of the sun is approximately 6,000 to the 10,000 degrees centigrade. So you can dip the more than 10 lakhs Earth in the sun. Is this much of the size of the sun. You cannot imagine the size of the sun. Okay. Similarly, what that the biggest planet is the Jupiter. That the size, the huge planet in our planetary system, the Jupiter. That you can dip approximately 10,000 Earth in the Jupiter. Okay, the spot of that itself, you can dip the 20 Earth in the spot. This much of the huge size of the biggest planet of our planetary system. The second planet is the second largest planet of our planetary system is the Saturn. The Saturn itself having the 14 satellites, as the Jupiter has 64 satellites. Okay, so that the Saturn is the having a ring-like structure surrounding to that planetary area. So the Saturn is the second largest planet. You can dip approximately 700 to 800 Earth inside the Saturn. So there is no limit, that infinite universe, I can say. And on that third number is that is for the sequence of the planets in the planetary system is our beautiful bluish Earth. Yes, the beautiful bluish Earth. Earth is on the third position, the spinnings, or you can say revolving around the sun. Okay, also rotating. Just remember the concept of the Copernicus and Kepler. Just thankful to the physics, investigations of the physics, the Copernicus and Kepler. That is the revolution, rotation. Okay, the concept was proposed by these scientists. So actually what our Earth is rotating in a considerable speed. The rotation of Earth is forming the day and night. The revolution of Earth is forming the whole year, or 365 days, what that concept. So this is what the natural system. So our Earth, what exactly is our Earth? Geologically, that our Earth, that's actually divisible into two portions. That is approximately 35% is the land area, terrestrial area, and the remaining approximately 75% is the marine area or the area, aquatic area. So there are two different areas. Okay, no doubt due to some we can say fluctuation in the environmental conditions, hazards and calamities, and there are several other things. As we are facing that, this area is also changing. Okay, whatever may be that, what will be in the future, that I cannot say that, but the investigations are going on, whatever may be. So what that, the area, there are two different areas in the Earth, that is the terrestrial area and the aquatic area. The 35 to 75% is complete. So what that terrestrial area is known as actually is what is given to that is the lithosphere. Whatever the terrestrial area or the land, the portion of the land on the earth is the lithosphere. Yes, lithosphere is a very specific ecological term, biological term is given to that land area. On the other hand, the water, that aquatic area is known as the hydrosphere. So hydrospherical area, lithospherical area. Okay. Just surrounding to the earth, there are several other the atmospheric area. So atmosphere, very correctly, having that concentration of the gases, what the vital gas, oxygen, carbon dioxide, oxygen, and some other gases also. That is carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, nitrogen. Okay, the maximum concentration in percentage is of the nitrogen. It is approximately 78% nitrogen. It is just existing into that atmospheric area. Okay. Next one is that surrounding to that another sphere is not the ionosphere. The chemicals, they are found in the ionic forms. And afterwards, that very, very important area surrounding to the earth is known as the shield of the earth, the protective shield of the earth. That area is known as stratosphere. Yes, stratosphere. The stratosphere is the area, it consists of that light blue color gas. The gas is known as ozone. The ozone area is that completely ozone layer. It is actually in the stratosphere area. Ozone is a protective shield for all the living beings, for the life of the living being, for the survival of the living beings. Yes, protection. But due to pollution, due to chlorofluorocarbon, freon gases, whatever with that unwanted activities of the human beings, what we are depleting the ozone layer. This depletion is causing the direct penetration of the ultraviolet rays and causing the skin cancer. This is no doubt dangerous. The rays causes radiations, causes the cancer. Yes, perfect investigation in the research. So that is stratosphere area. What ozone is? Ozone absorbs the 98 to 99% the ultraviolet rays or rays of the sun. So the filtration through the ozone layer, what that? It just protects the all living beings from the cancer and several other diseases. So should we stop our unsocial activity, stop our unwanted activities that we are depleting gradually, that what the stratospherical area or the ozone layer. According to some data of the NASA, okay, that is approximately 21 million square kilometer the hole in the ozone layer at the sky, in the sky of Japan is now we are looking at. Approximately in the sky of the New Delhi, yes, we are looking, or as per the investigation, there are 11 million square kilometer of that hole is there in the, that is ozone depletion. While in the Antarctica, that is the polar area, okay, there are 45 million square kilometer of the hole we are facing now. So where we are going? Okay, why we are exploiting to the living beings? Why we are exploiting? And what is actually what we want actually? So all that these activities just causing the fluctuation in the environmental condition, fluctuation and some negative fluctuations of the environmental condition, drastic environmental conditions, very high temperature, very high humidity. So this is what that the effect on the direct effect on the living beings. So this is the maintenance of all the environmental conditions, the maintenance of light, temperature, water, humidity, their proper interaction, normal interaction, and their interaction, normal and the proper interaction with the biotic component of living being is actually the ecosystem or is actually the ecology. So maintenance of ecology is more important than to study the ecology. Okay. It's not meaning this we are going through the seminar and all this lecture and for just for the what is ecology and this. Okay, no doubt. Okay, just it creates the awareness to the environment, but some practical things are required. How to protect the environmental system, how to protect our nature. This is first and foremost thing is duty of all the living beings. It's not the duty of the some biologist, not the duty of some students of the biology. It's the duty of all the living beings. Anyway, So this is simple, the introduction. Okay, I can say that is what that huge infinite universe, we cannot touch the limit of the universe. Okay, but we can respect our universe, and we can just do the friendship with our nature. Okay, and the maintenance, it can create a good ecosystem surrounding. Okay, anyway, next slide. Come to the main part of the ecological science, or the ecology, or I can say ecosystem, today's topic. That is some specific ecological terms that I will tell you. We'll discuss on some specific ecological terms. Number one is ecotone. Now, what do you mean by the ecotone? Means the tension zone between the two different population, or the two different community, two different area is known as ecotone. Tension zone means because naturally the two different areas interacting. For example, the boundary of the MP and boundary of the Gujarat, boundary of the two different state. So naturally the tension will be there, of the interaction of the population will be there. So if the interaction of population is there, then what will happen? There are, instead of the positive activity, the negative activity will be going on. Okay, so what will happen, that this interaction, that's tension zone, can create the, we can say, disturbance in the ecosystem, or disturbance in a particular area, because the individual of the population having a particular tendency to adapt themselves in a particular area. If they are not adapting properly, if they are not getting the proper environmental conditions, favorable environmental circumstances, then what will happen? Okay, they will interact, they will fight, with the competition will start to the individual of the another population in that of other area. So this is actually the tension zone, or the junction line between the two different area. Ecotone. Come to the next point. Ecological niche. The ecological niche is actually ecological term for a particular organism. A particular organism like reptiles, birds, you can take example of any organism. Okay, if I will take example of any lizard, for example. Lizard, common house lizard, Hemidactylus cuniculus. Okay, so common house lizard, okay, you can see that particular lizard is just approaching the particular area. Okay, residing in a particular area, is not living that area for a long time, because that particular lizard is getting all the food activity, all their food and requirements in that area. So that lizard is maintaining their own ecological niche. This is what according to the food habit, the ecological environment is just maintained by itself. The organism is known as actually ecological niche. Okay, come to the point number 3. Ecological succession, including hydrosphere, xerosphere and mesosphere. Now, what exactly is the succession? That is ecological succession. This is actually natural process. And sometimes the human beings, they're also artificially, they're just, we can say, just performing this process, and what that they're occupying a particular area forcefully. Okay, just surrounding to their houses, whatever, it is known as a succession, simply. But what exactly is the ecological succession? This is natural succession. The ecological succession means the gradual occupation of a particular area by the individual of a particular biotic community, and they can change that particular area into the another area. For example, that the terrestrial area, the whatever may be the biotic community is found in the terrestrial area. So that biotic community in the terrestrial area was just gradually occupying to that area, okay, and can convert that area into the water. Similarly, vice versa. That is, the biotic community, they are found into the water, okay, the area of the aquatic environment, okay. So they just starts their natural activities, okay. This is a complete series of the ecological succession. It's another topic is there, okay, it's the succession. So just I'm giving the, we can say, just the information of the ecological succession. So what the conversion of the hydrosphere, hydro means water, conservation of the area of the aquatic environment and their due to the activities of the biotic community, even plants and animals both, okay, especially if I will emphasize to the plant, okay, so that into the land area. This is what the conversion of the land area into the water and conversion of the water into the land area. This is what the hydrocity and xerocity. Xero means for the dry area, land area. Mesocity means that is not very much dry, not very much that we can say the aquatic area, that is like a mangrove and some S area, which is in muddy area. So that is the mesocity. So this is the natural ecological succession, the forceful occupying. No doubt it is gradually in the months and years. Yes, okay, the area is changing due to the environmental factors and conditions. This is natural tendency of all the living beings that the living beings, plants and animals, okay, if they are getting the proper environmental conditions, that is light, temperature, water, humidity, their food sources, everything, okay. So definitely they will adapt in that particular area and will just occupy that area, okay, and they will increase their population due to the reproduction, okay. So this is what how the biotic component they are establishing themselves or adapting in a particular area. So this is actually is not in the ecological succession. No, it's not the meaning that this is positive or negative. This is natural process actually. Okay, so for example, another example is that I can give for the ecological succession is that, for example, like a big tree, banana tree or ficus religiosa, people tree, whatever maybe, okay, tree. So you can see that surrounding to the stem of the tree, okay, there are some unwanted small weed plants are there. So these weed plants, if they are getting the proper food, water, okay, so they will start growing to that area. And afterwards, what will happen? Okay, so they can even damage to the main plant. Okay, this is what occupation, this is succession, how they are just occupying the particular area. Well, this is the meaning of the succession, ecological succession. Okay, come to the fourth point, productivity in an ecosystem. Now, what do you mean by the productivity? The net productivity and the gross productivity. There are two classifications of the productivity. Now, first, we'll discuss that what exactly is the meaning of the productivity. Productivity means the individual or the biotic component of a particular ecosystem. Okay, their per unit area, what that the production of that, for example, in the plants, that is the grasses and whatever maybe that we are getting from the plants, that is complete is overall is known as the productivity. How we are getting from ecosystem, whatever we are getting from an ecosystem is actually productivity, the gross productivity and the net productivity. Clear? So we can calculate the overall productivity, the gross productivity and the net productivity in a particular area, in a per unit area. So this is what the meaning is the productivity in an ecosystem. Point number 5, biogeochemical cycling. This plays a significant role for the maintenance of ecosystem. Yes. First, I will tell you the meaning of this specific term, biogeochemical. Bio, no doubt, biological. Geo means geological, study of earth, non-living things. Okay, chemical, the fascinating branch of the science, that is chemistry. Okay, so chemicals. So the interaction of the chemicals in the nature with the geological part and the biological things. This is biogeochemical cycling. So, what the cyclings they are including in the biogeochemical cycle? So, these are nitrogen cycle, water cycle, carbon cycle, okay, several water cycle, okay. So, the nitrogen cycle, okay, 78% nitrogen is found in the atmosphere. It's already told you in my previous lecture. So, what that the 78% of the nitrogen, as per the information from the chemistry, okay, the nitrogen is actually the toxic gas. Nitrogen is not vital gas. Nitrogen is not favorable for vital activity. Nitrogen is not for survival activity. So, free nitrogen is dangerous for all the living beings. So, what is the how to minimize the toxic level of the nitrogen? There are some specific plants. These plants are known as leguminous plants. Okay, family Leguminosae, as per the botanical concept. So that is leguminous plants. First, I will tell you what exactly is the leguminous plants. Okay, for a few seconds. Leguminous plants are actually the plants. Their roots are fibrous roots. Okay, adventitious roots, and these roots are having a small bead-like structures known as the root nodules. These root nodules they have the numerous minute microscopic bacteria. These bacteria are known as the nitrogen-fixing bacteria. Now it's very interesting. Nitrogen-fixing bacteria in the root nodules of the leguminous plants like Saccharum officinarum, like Pisum sativum, means pea plant, Saccharum officinarum, that is sugarcane, etc. Okay, whatever may be. So what the root nodules? So these root nodules, what the nitrogen-fixing bacteria, they're found in the root nodules. They gradually fix the free toxic nitrogen in the form of the nitrogenous compounds. Okay, so what the process is going on? Naturally, there is nitrification, denitrification, ammonification, okay, as per the nitrogen cycle is going on. So this is what that the fixation of the nitrogen in the form of the nitrates, nitrites. Okay, now these nitrates, nitrites, okay, ammonium compounds, they are very, very useful for they act as fertilizer for the plant, for the growth of the plant. So now they are useful. Okay, see what the interesting concept is. A toxic nitrogen is now converted into a useful chemical fertilizer by the action of the nitrogen-fixing bacteria. So these nitrogen-fixing bacteria are essential for the maintenance of ecosystem, to avoid the toxic activity of the nitrogen. Okay, so that is the complete nitrogen cycle is going on. Similarly, the water cycle, the biogeochemical cycle, the water cycle. Water is first and foremost the requirement of the life. Okay, as per the concept of the biology, the life was first emerged into the water. Okay, as per the evolutionary concept. Yes, prokaryotic cell, eukaryotic cell, protocell, eobionts, according to the most fascinating concept of the Alexander Ivanovich Oparin. He wrote a book, Origin of Life. Okay, so what the water? Water is actually polar molecule. Water, it consists of 2 molecules of hydrogen and 1 molecule of oxygen. Okay, water can exist in the 3 forms, that is solid, liquid and gas. Okay, so the existence of water, the maintenance of water is essential, not compulsory, essential. Yes, so water, the cycling of the water, use of the water by animals, use of the water by that plants and several, they are cycling in between the individuals of the animals, and vaporization, okay, raining, etc. is actually forming a complete cycle that is known as the water cycle. Similarly, the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide as per the very, very specific vital process performed by the living beings, that is respiration. The expiration, inspiration, that is exchange of these 2 gases. One is vital gas, one is toxic gas. Okay, no doubt, as per the investigations in the environmental biology, what that the carbon dioxide gas is increasing the temperature. Yes, the greenhouse effect. Okay, so carbon dioxide gas, if the concentration of carbon dioxide gas is increasing in the atmosphere, so definitely the temperature will increase. If we will just cutting the tree or deforestation, extensive deforestation in a particular area, so you can see the more and more concentration of the carbon dioxide is there. Because we are expiring the carbon dioxide gas. The plants, they have the natural capacity to absorb the carbon dioxide gas. Yes. So what that this is actually the interrelation between the plants and animals. All are interconnected. Biotic components also and abiotic components also. So you cannot avoid to any particular component. All are important. Everything is important in this nature. Yes, their interaction is very important. So this is very important. It's not the matter of the lecture. It's not matter for the seminar and all this. This is matter of the awareness to the nature or awareness to the environment. So this is what that the water cycle, it should be maintained. Okay, if we are continuously deforesting the area, what will happen? That disturbance of the exchange of the gases will take place. More and more increase in the temperature. That is melting of the polar ice, and that will increase the level of the sea or the aquatic environment. So all these are the dangerous calamities. Okay. Next one is the point number 6, estuary. Now this is a very specific term. It's very simple. The interaction or we can say merging of the fresh water to the marine water. The area where the fresh water is merging with the marine water. Okay, any river is just merging into the sea. That particular area is known as estuary. The ecology is known as estuarine ecology. Okay, and the ecosystem is known as estuarine ecosystem, also known as brackish water zone. For example, Narmada River in the India, okay, is merging into the Arabian Sea, okay, in the Bharuch, the area just near the Surat, where that the Narmada River is just merging. So that is where is the estuary of the Narmada River? So I told you that, okay. So this is what the meaning of the estuary. Okay, the river is merging into the sea area. So definitely the environment of the marine, purely marine environment is different, freshwater is different, and estuarine area is different. Because the marine environment, the marine water is having the maximum amount of the inorganic, organic salt are there, mainly the sodium chloride is there. So definitely the interaction with the fresh water, okay, and the marine water will create another type of the environment in the estuary. So this is what the meaning brackish water zone, okay, having its own ecosystem and the ecology. Next one is eutrophic lake. Now, what is lake? We know that, okay. That Baikal Lake, okay, that is Mueller Lake. There are several that lake that is per the area, okay. The lake is actually the reservoir, a big reservoir of the water, okay. That eutrophic lake means the maximum more and more very high concentration of the minerals, chemicals. That lake is considered as a eutrophic lake. On the other hand is the oligotrophic lake, is the comparatively less concentration of the nutrients or the chemicals is known as oligotrophic lake. So this is what the classification of the lake, also known as lake ecosystem. This comes under the freshwater ecosystem, the category of the freshwater ecosystem. As the category of the freshwater ecosystem, including the pond ecosystem, including the lake ecosystem, river ecosystem, stream ecosystem, whatever may be, artificially made or that natural, whatever may be. Okay, so this is what that all the four we can say types of the ecosystem, freshwater ecosystem. So the lake ecosystem is itself is having its own specialty characteristics. Okay, next one is point number 9, trophic levels. Now, what do you mean by the trophic levels in an ecosystem? Trophic means actually there are 3 words, okay, it's confusing. Okay, so what the 3 words? The traffic, tropic and trophic. Traffic means what? Traffic rules, whatever, okay. And tropic means related to the temperature. Tropical area, subtropical area. Okay, this is what this. India is a subtropical country, the subcontinental area. Clear, the subtropical is not very high temperature, not very low temperature. This is what is known as the tropic area, T-R-O-P-I-C, tropic. But trophic, T-R-O-P-H-I-C, if you are using this word, trophic means food level. Where is food level? The first trophic level, second trophic level, third trophic level, fourth trophic level. Depends on the, we can say, the maximum biotic community. The levels of the trophic levels are depends. Okay, what that? So the trophic levels of a particular ecosystem is depends on the, we can say, population of that particular biotic community, individuals. Okay, so this is the trophic levels are maintaining. Okay, if they are getting the proper environmental conditions, okay, so proper food and though they are maintaining the trophic level, so ecosystem is maintaining. This is the meaning of the trophic level. And actually this trophic level is maintained by producers, consumers, decomposers. There are 3 main categories as we will discuss later on, okay, in the next one. So producers, consumers, even consumers in the primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumers, okay, and microscopic level is the decomposers. So all these levels, the trophic levels, they are maintaining, okay. So this is the meaning of trophic levels. Next one is detritus organisms. What do you mean by the detritus organisms? What do you mean by the detritus food chain or detritus organism? Detritus means microorganisms. You cannot see by the naked eyes. They are invisible microorganisms. They are mainly bacteria. These bacteria, they decompose the organic matter. They are making their own food chain. Yes, so collectively that matter, organic matter, including the bacteria is known as the detritus. organisms. So all the bacteria, all nitrogen fixing bacteria, I can tell you the name of some nitrogen fixing bacteria: Nitrosomonas, Azotobacter, Azospirillum, etc. Several other nitrogenous bacteria and some other bacteria. Okay, they are just performing their significant role in the decomposition. The process of the decomposition after the death of plant and animal is actually just forming the detritus area. Now detritus, they are detritus organisms. Okay, next one is point number 11 as per the ecological terms, that is the producers, consumers and decomposers. Now let's see the producers, consumers, decomposers. What are producers? Producers means they can produce, they can give something. It's known as producers. Simple. I can say that ecology is very interesting science with comparison to that other branches, because we are just studying the nature. Nature, beautiful nature. We are feeling the nature. We are feeling everything. So the study of the ecology is very simple, is very easy, because directly we are just interacting in the nature. Every day we are interacting in the nature. So to study the ecology is okay, is the scoring also for the examination for the various questions, okay. And what very simple to understand, but the maintenance, our interaction is negative or positive, this is very important. Otherwise, what will happen? You can see the cruel nature of the nature also. Cruel, we can say nature. So this is what the cruel nature, okay, what we are facing now. The dangerous effect of virus, coronavirus, dangerous effect of some natural calamities, earthquakes, and okay, floods. Okay, this is what is the negative, you can say, environmental conditions, okay, due to our unsocial activity, unwanted activities, deforestation, all these things, okay, creating this problem all over the world. So if we are not just respecting our nature, if we are not doing our friendship with the nature, then it will cause the dangerous effect. So nature will not be your friend. Okay, so anyway, so this is what the producers means. All the actually plants are producers. More correctly, all the green plants are producers. They provide vegetables, they provide everything you are getting from the plants. Yes, everything you are getting from the plants. Yes, grains, crops, everything you are getting. So they are actually producers. They are in the abundant quantity. They produce. So that's why the name is given, producers. All the green plants are producers. Consumers, those they consume the products of the producers. They are consumers. Now, in the consumers, there are several categories of the consumers. Primary consumers, the small animals. Okay, secondary consumers, much bigger animals. They are feeding on the small animals. And the top consumer, tertiary consumer, they are dangerous carnivorous animals, lion, tiger, leopards. Okay, so they are just this a complete level of the consumers: primary consumers, secondary consumers, tertiary consumers, top consumers, etc. So the level is increasing and decreasing as per the maintenance of that particular ecosystem, okay, and the individual of the biotic community of that ecosystem. Okay. So this is what actually is the meaning of the consumers. So consumers, primary consumers, usually they are actually small insects and all these. We can say they just we can say maintain the majority of the primary consumers, and the secondary consumers. Okay, if I will emphasize in an ecosystem that is aquatic environment, they are the small fishes are primary consumers. Then much bigger fishes, they are secondary consumers. The big fishes, they are the tertiary consumers. So all that fishes, they are feeding. Okay, this is food habit, trophic levels. This is what the meaning is, the consumers. Okay. Next one is decomposers, microbes. As I told you that, decomposers are microbes, microorganisms. Yes, study of microorganisms, microbes is known as microbiology. Okay. Invisible is more dangerous than visible. We can fight with the dinosaur. Yes, we can fight with dragons. We can fight with the huge animal much bigger than our size. But we cannot fight with a microorganism because you cannot see by your eyes. It is invisible. You cannot fight with virus. You cannot fight with bacteria because you cannot see that. To identify that particular virus, you should have the particular technique just for the diagnosis, just for the investigation and what type of virus is this. So this is dangerous. The invisible things are more dangerous. than the visible things. So that is what the condition of the decomposers. Decomposers, you cannot see the decomposers. You can see the consumers. You can see the producers, but you can't see the decomposers. But they are working in the nature. These decomposers, they are invisible. They are bacteria. They are decomposing the dead body. They are decomposing the body of the plants and the animals. So why the decomposition is important? If the body will not decompose, what will happen? That infection will create in a particular ecosystem. So what will happen? Then it can disturb the ecosystem. Yes, so this is dangerous. And this is very important, the activity of the virus and bacteria. No doubt, virus, they are poison. They always harm to the other living beings. Bacteria, some bacteria, 30 to 35%, they are beneficial. But maximum bacteria, 70% bacteria, they are harmful. They cause dangerous diseases, whatever may be. Okay, but they are very important for nature also, because they are decomposing to the, you can say, deteriorating, or the body, a dead body is deteriorating. So just the deterioration of the dead body is avoided by or is prevented by these bacteria. Come to the next point, stratification. Stratification is actually the levels. Levels, I remember the word in ecological term is biomagnification. Biomagnification means that particular, for example, a particular level, trophic level is maintained according to their food habit, and their individuals are also maintained. So what that is reflecting to the another level, then that level is also reflecting to another level. So this is what that if the individual in a particular level is increasing or decreasing, so they are reflecting, magnifying to that area. This is what actually is known as biomagnification in the different trophic level. This is what the stratification in a particular areas. Now, the second thing is that, okay, this stratification is different in different ecosystem. In aquatic ecosystem, a freshwater ecosystem is different. In the marine ecosystem is different. The stratification is much bigger in the marine ecosystem with comparison to the aquatic ecosystem, because the body is huge body as the ocean area. Okay. Next one is herbivores, carnivores, detritivores, omnivores, scavengers, and sanguivorous predators and parasites. These are the categories of the living beings. Animals, number one is herbivores. All the animals, they feeds on the plants only. They feeds on the plants. They are actually herbivorous organisms or herbivorous animals. Cow, buffalo, they are all herbivorous. Okay, they never feed the meat. Okay, they never go for the hunt. Okay, they are actually herbivorous animals. Next one is carnivorous. They have the canine teeth. Sharp canine teeth. This sharp canine teeth, what is the function of canine teeth actually? The canine teeth means the sharp pointed canine teeth to tear off the flesh. Okay, so what the carnivorous animals, their canines are adapted for this activity. They hunt and they eat the flesh. Okay, not they are just feeding on the dead body. It's not the meaning that any animal is feeding on the dead body is another category. Okay, but if any particular animal like lion, tiger, leopard, okay, they're just hunting and they are just killing to the particular animal and they are just tearing the flesh to their canines. That's why the name is given. Canine is the name of teeth. That's why the name is derived. There's a carnivorous animals. Carnivores. Next one is detritivores. Very simple. It's already explained in the detritus organisms means bacteria, decomposers. They are known as detritivores. They are continuously decomposing the dead bodies of the plants and animals. Next one is omnivores. This category is that very specific category. We are omnivores. Human beings are omnivores. They can feed on plants also, they can feed on the animals also. Actually, the definition according to the Eugene P. Odom, the father of ecology, okay, the omnivores exactly is that omnivores, okay, no doubt, they feeds on plants also, they feeds on animals also. But they can perform every type of activity, they are actually omnivores. Due to some specific adaptation, the human beings, they just feed on the non-living things also. As you are looking in the fear factors and in Guinness Book of World Record, what that they are feeding on some tube lights and they're feeding on some other things, non-living things also. Okay, sometimes what happens is some species of the human beings, they just feeds on the dead body. Okay, what that they can feed everything. So this is what omnivorous. That's what name is given, omnivorous habit. Okay, so everything feeds that particular organism or the animal. They can feed everything. Is known as omnivorous organism. Next example is human beings. Yes. Next is scavengers. Scavengers are pinpoint. Scavengers, they feeds on dead body only. Yes, those animals, they feeds on the dead body, they are actually is known as scavengers. Okay, the best example is hyena. It's a very, very specific species of the mammal. Hyena. Okay, the spotted, hairy skin. Okay, and blackish encircling the eyes, the area. Okay, that one pair of the pinna. Okay, small pinna. Okay, and very powerful jaws are there with the double row of the canines are there. Okay, nocturnal in the habit. Yes, hyena, they are nocturnal. Okay, they nocturnal animals means they hunt during night. That's why the name is given, nocturnal animals. So hyena, they are brave, no doubt. They have what the much of daring is that. Okay, they can just remove the hunted animal in front of that lion also. Yes, they can in the group, they can just cover to the area of the lion also. So they are nocturnal. What that? The hyena is actually scavenger. It feeds on the dead body. They never go for the hunt. They just feeds on dead body. Scavengers. Small insect. Ants. Study of ants is known as mycology. Ants. They feeds on dead body. So ants are ants, that insect. Phylum Arthropoda. Okay. So ants are scavengers. Okay. Another category, in the birds, vultures. The vultures, they are scavengers, but due to the unsocial activities or the unwanted activities of the human beings, what we are using, extensively using the plastics and the cycling of the plastics, as the plastic is the non-renewable resource. You cannot renew that naturally. It's not renewable. Okay? Just as per the, you can say, gastroenterological concept, what there is no any particular enzyme which is found in the stomach, on the wall of the stomach or the wall of the intestine secreting can digest the plastic. So what will happen? Accidentally, if the trace amount of the plastic, even a trace amount of the plastic is entered into the body, in the digestive system, that will create a lot of problem and the severe pain. This is enough to disturb the ecosystem. What happened actually? What is going? What is plastic is just passing through the chain, food chain. Yes, plastic. Okay. What that cow, buffalo? Okay. They are not having the much intelligence what to choose from the dustbin. They're just feeding everything from the dustbin. There are stone, the pieces of the stones are there, the pieces of the glasses are there, everything is there, plastics are there. Okay. Anyway, no doubt that cow and buffalo, they are having their specific stomach, the ruminant stomach, having the 5 important parts. Even that, the plastic is in the body of the cow and the buffalo. What will happen? There is no enzyme for the digestion of the plastic. So, the death of the cow. Okay, now the dead body of the cow, okay, all group of the vulture will feed on the dead body of the cow. So what will happen? That plastic will enter into the body of the vulture. This is how the ecosystem is disturbing, how the animals are dying. This is due to the plastic. The plastic polyvinyl chloride, PVC. This is what that the very specific, it is formed due to the by the action or the reaction of the polymerization. It's a very specific reaction in the chemistry, so that the plastic is forming. Plastic is not easily digested. Plastic is not easily converted to the next chemical. For example, as I told you that in a biogeochemical cycle, the free nitrogen, toxic nitrogen can convert into the nitrites and nitrates by some decomposers or the bacteria, nitrogen fixing bacteria, no doubt. But as per the investigations that there, I have not just heard about any particular organism that can convert the plastic into the simple compounds, or any compound is not harmful to the individuals of the ecosystem. Anyway, So they are actually the scavengers. Now next category is the sanguivores. Sanguivorous nutrition, sanguivorous organisms. They're actually blood suckers. Those organisms, they suck the blood for their nutrition, known as sanguivorous organisms. Yes, bloodsucker vampires. It's a specific category of that small vampires, flying mammal. The scientific name is the Desmodus rotundus. These bloodsucker vampires, they have the sharp, hollow, we can say fangs are there. Fangs actually, they're also found in cobra and king cobra and some poisonous snake. These fangs are actually modified canines. And these modified canines are having the tubes are passing into the canines from the poison gland. So what is actually the concept that the sanguivores, they just penetrate their canines, fangs, more correctly, into the skin of a particular organism, they suck the blood. This is what the mechanism, the sanguivores, they suck the blood. That's why the name is given, blood sucker vampires, sanguivorous organism. Another example is leech, Hirudinaria granulosa, from phylum Annelida. Leech, bloodsucker leech. Leech, they suck the blood. They are also sanguivorous organisms. So, there are different category of the organisms that are found into the ecosystem. Okay. Next one is predators. This is very, very common relation. Prey and predator relationship. Shikar or shikari. Prey and predator relationship. Okay, so predators, this relationship or this relation is always negative. This is not positive relation. For example, symbiosis. The relation between the two organisms. They are getting benefit with each other, okay? But they are not giving any harm to any particular harmful activity. So this is what actually is known as the symbiosis. Nitrogen fixing bacteria and leguminous plant. This is symbiotic relationship. But prey and predator relationship is the negative relation between the two different organisms. One is getting benefit, one is not. Okay, so this is what predators. Parasites, parasitism. This relation is also very negative. Parasites. What are parasites? Parasites, that is, they are actually the comparatively smaller in size. And host, what the body, the parasite, they using the body is known as host. They are smaller, like that bacteria perform the, they are parasites. There are several worms, they are parasites that causing the dangerous diseases in the body of the host. Sometimes the parasite, they use more than one body, 2 or 3 bodies. For example, flatworm, Fasciola hepatica, from phylum Platyhelminthes. Okay, using the 3 hosts, cow, buffalo, pig, okay, the body. So this is what the relation of the parasites or their, we can say, role into the ecosystem. Okay, whatever may be negative or positive, it's another matter, okay, but they are existing all over the world. They are working in their own manner, okay, and no doubt you will not believe, but they are maintaining the ecosystem. Scavengers also, parasites also, omnivores also, yes, all these animals, there are different categories of the animals, they are maintaining the ecosystem. Next point is mineralization. Mineralization is actually that plenty of the minerals, they are found into the soil. The study of soil is known as pedology. The pedology is the study of soil, that various zonation of the soil. I will go through that to the various level of the earth, that is that there is small stone pieces are there, big pieces are there, very small and fine pieces are there. They are forming the soil. Gradual formation of the soil. So this is what the zonation of the soil. Clear? So what actually the plenty of the minerals, they are found into the soil. And these minerals are essential for the, we can say, survival of the plants, primarily, and for the animals, secondarily. The plants, the part of the plant which is positively geotropic in nature and negatively phototropic in nature is known as the root. The roots are actually the part, they are having the natural, we can say, property to absorb the water in minerals. So these water minerals are absorbing. So this is mineralization. Minerals are forming. The death of plants and animals, just mixing into the soil after the decomposition, and they're converting into the organic matter into the inorganic matter, formation of the minerals. This is what the mineralization, the minerals are forming and transferring into the different, we can say, category of the living beings. Okay, next one is biomass. Biomass is actually per unit area, the individual of the biotic community is known as biomass. The per unit area, the biotic community, individual of the biotic community, they are known as the biomass. So the biomass decides or it indicates the fruitfulness of an ecosystem. Yes, if the biomass is not proper in that particular ecosystem, what will happen after some time? That ecosystem will gradually lost. Yes, so biomass also decide the productivity of that ecosystem, gross productivity, net productivity of that ecosystem. So biomass means the majority of the animals and plants in a particular area of a particular ecosystem is the biomass. Okay, next, ecological pyramids. They're not the pyramids not looking like the pyramid into the ecosystem. Pyramids are actually naturally they are forming. Okay, due to the food habits, due to trophic levels. Naturally, the producers are maximum in the ecosystem. So this what the producers are maximum, so they are just forming the majority. Consumers, even that primary consumers, they are less than the producers. So their majority is, okay, very small like this. Then secondary consumers, then tertiary consumers, and the top consumers. So this is what the formation of the pyramids into the ecosystem. Okay, so this is in the next slides. So I will explain in detail. I will show the pyramids, ecological pyramids. Okay, what type of the pyramids are there? Next one is ecological services. Yes, what is our duty for the maintenance of nature? This is actually an meaning of ecological services. How we are maintaining our ecosystem, how we are just, are we really aware about the nature? Yes, and just what about the nature? Yes, what is the characteristics of the nature? What is our intimacy with the nature? Our activities are negative or positive. So these ecological services means what plan from the government, from the duty of each and every person for the maintenance of the nature, for the maintenance of the ecosystem. Okay, these are all including into the ecological services. Mainly Wildlife Conservation Act, the maintenance of wildlife as the Project Tiger, etc., Chipko, Andolan, all these activities, okay, that is for the maintenance of the nature and ecosystem, because there is an intimate relationship between the abiotic and biotic component. If we are avoiding exploiting to the nature, even to the abiotic components also, then what we will, okay, we are totally dependent on this. So why we are going for this negative activity? Okay, so this is very important, very serious matter. Okay, these are all included into the ecological services. Okay, there are act. Okay, there is Peoples for Animal Act. The Peoples for Animal Act, okay, there are 3 types of species existing in the ecosystem. Living species, naturally, normally living, and they are maintaining. Okay, that is living species. Next one is that endangered or the threatened species. Those species of plants and animals that are endangered due to the unsocial activity of the human beings. Okay, they are known as endangered species. They are just removing from the earth gradually. And third one is the extinct species. Extinct species like dinosaur, tigers. Now we are looking in the photographs. The species are extinct species, not existing all over the world. So what our activities? Our activities actually just converting the living species into the endangered species. Yes. So vultures, frogs, okay, peacock, okay, lion, tiger, they're all now in the endangered species, in the category of the endangered species due to our activity. We are using the tusk of the elephant. We are killing the elephant for the tusk. We are using the skin of the tiger. We are using the skin of the lion, just killing the lion and tiger. Just for our requirement, our selfishness. Okay, so all these activities hippopotamus, a rhinoceros, several other. Okay, just remember the name of a very, very specific book. That is a Red Data book, international book. You can see the list of the endangered species, list of the extinct species. Okay, you should maintain that, their reproduction, their maintenance in the ecosystem. Otherwise, what will happen? Okay, that particular species will totally remove from that area. Okay, and the ecosystem will disturb. So these are all the ecological services. Okay.
For latest videos and updates, like, share and subscribe. For instant notifications, press the bell icon.